As digital entrepreneurs, we're so attached to technology and specifically our phones, and it can become such a powerful tool to grow your business and take everything you're doing to the next level with all the technology. But it can also become overwhelming and really weigh on us in a way that we might even not expect. And this is what I've learned over giving up my phone and particularly all the social media and Shopify, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I took all of that off my phone, kind of in a spur of the moment decision, and actually I haven't put it back yet. And it's been about 7 weeks. So I'm going on about 2 months of not having Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or Shopify on my phone. And I wanted to talk today about 4 reasons that you might want to try giving up these things from your phone, taking them off, and the benefits that it can have for you and your business. Hey, what's up? It's Zach. Every week I make weekly videos about business, mainly digital marketing, scaling your small business, a lot of sticker marketing, and sometimes some lifestyle, how to personal development, leadership ideas, which is kind of what this week's is about. It's a little bit of a unique video because I'm going to be talking about what I've learned and why the value and the benefits of giving up technology really and getting off my phone so significantly over the past about 7 weeks. So if you're into growing your business and scaling so that you can become more free, really enjoy what you do and have a lot of fun in the process, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell button so you can keep watching these videos every Wednesday. Before we jump into why you should give up technology, I kind of want to talk about and walk you through the idea of like, how are you using technology? So what are you, sometimes when we wake up, we're immediately on our phones is one thing I've noticed. It's like you wake up, boom, screens, you're immediately jumping on, you're scrolling through your DMs, all your messages, you're looking at what people have said, maybe the news, you're on Twitter, and you're constantly really inundated all day. So it starts in the morning and it goes all day. And we end up being on our phone for hours and hours and hours. If you look at the screen time on your phone, mine before getting into this was around 3.5 hours a day. So which is kind of worrisome if you think about it. That's a lot of my life that goes onto a screen. And so I really wanted to decrease that and to see what would happen. But what's your kind of relationship with your phone? Are you on it all the time? Do you feel like you're tied to it? Are you constantly checking notifications? Something dings, you're constantly flipping over your phone. Are you texting? Are you DMing? Are you creating content? Are you monitoring your business, emails? Like, what is it that you use your phone for? Because the stuff I'm going to talk about kind of applies to everybody, but really think about how this stuff could apply in your life. So why should you kind of cut ties with those addicting apps that you have on your phone and take a break? Well, the first reason is that it's going to give you a hard reset to basically start from zero. If you have these on your phone and you're reading your constant notifications, you're going to always have some sort of connection to it. But by deleting these apps, it allows you to fully get away from them so that you're totally cut off from them. It's kind of a hard feeling to explain, but when I have the apps on my phone, I know that they're there and I'm constantly wanting to pick it up, and I know that there's action happening on Instagram, or that if I open my Facebook there's going to be something to look at. But by totally stepping back, cutting all of that off, it gives you a lot of space to reevaluate your relationship with these apps and technology in general, and really gives you this space. So it's hard to actually replicate that without totally stopping it and hard stop, cold turkey, get rid of it, because that's what's going to initially lay the ground foundation for some of these other lessons and other values and benefits that will come that I don't think will happen if you're not fully committed to this process. You really need to go like stop, no more, cut it off, undownload, don't check it, and jump into it full speed. But that being said, I did use my computer a lot. I do run a business. There are things that I had to monitor. So I was on Facebook for business. I would be on my personal page. I would see notifications, but I really didn't seek it out. And so I know as a business owner, you're going to have to do that to a certain extent, most likely. So there was a big difference between just having it on my computer and having it on my phone. So you're not totally cutting it off. I know I said that, but definitely off of your phone will make a massive difference while probably still allowing you to run your business from your computer, which is something that I noticed throughout this process. I was surprised about how little I actually needed my phone. So you don't have to totally cut it off, but definitely off of your phone, because that is where all of that really crazy addiction and all the programming happens with that device that you carry around all day. Your computer is just not going to be with you like all day 24/7 as accessible as your phone. The second reason is that by taking this action, you are going to really tap into yourself. It is an amazing feeling to really align with who you are, to think your own thoughts, to walk your own path, to not have this kind of outside influence dictating who you are. Because as you know, whenever we're posting on our stories, we're sharing posts in our feed, we're constantly releasing content, we're getting judged for that, and there's an almost immediate response from what we do. But by stepping away from that, there's not that response, and it doesn't alter how we act because there isn't that response happening from the other side. So what in turn happens is you get to really tap into yourself and acting because you want to act this way, not because it's going to look cool for the gram. Oftentimes I found myself like really enjoying a moment and wanting to share it, but I'm like, why do I need to share this? Or do I need to do something different if I were to share it? But I don't have to do that. I can just sit here and enjoy it. And so by kind of cutting that, you end up becoming more free and more aligned with your own actions, your own thoughts. You're not getting inundated with other people's worldviews or assumptions or opinions, or all of these things that are constantly inundating us. We're just being flooded with our friends' content, news content, all the different content, and just keeps flooding in. And by kind of cutting that off, it allows you to really tap into who you are and hear yourself. Most likely, if you're watching this, you're spending a ton of time on your phone. And if you go to your settings, you can see how much screen time you're sharing, you're using, and it ends up being an insane amount, right? Like if you think about 3 or 4 hours a day accumulated over the week, it is an absurd amount of time that we spend staring at our phones and just head down, engulfed in this content. Sometimes we're watching TV and watching our phone, right? Or we're hanging out with people and we're here all the time. So if you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you too also spend an absurd amount of time on your phone, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours a day. Sure, you could call it work, but regardless, we are all spending an absurd amount of time just staring at our phones. And a lot of that ends up coming from maybe only a handful of apps that we're using. And you can check that when you're seeing, your screen time and your usage. You can see that most likely social media is consuming almost a majority of your time, or something else for you. It could be Twitter, it could be 4chan, it could be the news, you could be whatever it is. We're spending a lot of time on our phones, and so when you take those couple of major influences off your phone, then all of a sudden you just feel more free. There's a lot more time. You're going to see your screen time use drop significantly, and you're not feeling so attached to what's happening on your phone. You're just more present in real life. And this ends up being really cool because you're not distracted and you get to just sit there. Like, it's hard to explain, but I just found myself just sitting. Before I would be always on my phone, maybe at lunchtime eating, watching something, and now I would just sit outside and just eat and like watch the trees blowing, or my dog is running around, and I'm like sitting there enjoying the moment, not distracted by my phone. And it's kind of these surreal, like almost time traveled experiences where I'm like, wow, this is what people used to do all the time. They didn't have technology to distract them. They weren't always constantly zoomed in on their phone. And so that creates a lot of white space when you're not always like staring at your screen. It creates opportunity for your mind to run, for your thoughts to kind of flush out. They're just kind of sprinting around in your brain, connecting dots. You're processing, you're seeing things, you're taking it easy, you're breathing. It's a lot of this really powerful kind of physiological response that ends up just making you feel more free and more lightweight. You're not tied down by the notifications that are popping off in your phone, or what did someone comment on this. All that stuff kind of gets set aside to create this environment for you to just kind of exist by yourself. And it's a great feeling to try it out and to get to that point. It definitely takes a couple of weeks, I would say, to really see that, but you'll get bits and pieces of it kind of at the beginning. We're like, what am I doing? I don't have my phone to be on while I'm sitting on the bus, or sitting in traffic or whatever, and you're just sitting there. You're like, wow, this is kind of a crazy feeling. This doesn't happen that often anymore. And that kind of leads me to the last thing that you're going to benefit from taking time away from your phone, is that hopefully that time gets reinvested into people. And you're going to feel more appreciative of other people, what they're saying, listening to them, engaging, being really focused on conversations, because often, like, other people, like now being off my phone, I see how much other people are just on their phone all the time with people, and they're constantly hanging out, but they're just scrolling or distracted. And so when you take that away, you just get to like really connect with people and not have these barriers and distractions that mess up communication or all this stuff. And so so much in this during this last couple of weeks is like just sitting with people and being in the moment and having conversations and just feeling so appreciative and so full by that. Not like I need to pick up my phone because I know that I have other things happening. It's like, no, all I have to do is just be here with this person. I have no distractions. Nothing's going to take away from this moment. And it just creates this awesome opportunity to like really connect with people more deeply. So try it out. I really suggest doing this. I think even a couple of weeks is a big, you'll learn a lot in a couple of weeks. I spurred of the moment did it for Lent. My friend was messaging me on Instagram and we were talking about it, and she said she was going to do it. And I said, hey, I'll try it out. And now, like 7 weeks later or whatever it is, I still haven't put it back on my phone and still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I think there is a missing element of creativity that by not posting and creating content that I'm missing. So I'm still trying to work it out, but undoubtedly this little sprint has made my life better. I feel a lot more connected to myself, like I was talking about. And so I think you should try it out. Give it a shot. Let me know. Comment below if you do go back or come back and comment. Or if you have done this before, let me know too. I would love to hear some of the things that you learned, or some of the results that happened. So this is coming out again next week. I got some more cool videos lined up. I'm excited to be talking more about some business things. But if you've enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.